A lot of the time I find in these outdoor spaces, everyone's very kind of tunnel vision, like how can I support people in skiing? But I think there's so much more to just supporting, a community as they are, and when everyone's fed and when everyone's happy and when everyone has a home, then everyone can go skiing and everyone can enjoy that. So I think there's so much too to just supporting every aspect of who we are as Squamish people, but just as human beings, to kind of allow us to have these fun, healing spaces in the outdoors.
Thank you for having us here, and welcome to the traditional territory of the Squamish and the Li'uwat people.
Thank you so much.
My name's Maya Antone. I'm a youth from the Squamish Nation.
My name's Anahid, or Nana.
I'm Layla. I'm from Seattle, Washington. I run the Service Board, which is a youth development organization.
My name is Sandy Ward. I'm from the Li'uwat Nation, and I am the lead of the Indigenous Women Outdoors Backcountry Mentorship Cohort.
My name's Sean Easton. I'm the co-executive director at Zero Ceiling Society of Canada.
I'm Indra. My pronouns are she, her. And we're at the Journeyman Lodge today, which, super grateful to be here on the shared territory of Lillooet and Squamish First Nations.
Welcome to Journeyman Lodge, everyone. So my name is Hayden. I'm a first-year apprentice splitboard guide, and I'm excited to take everyone out in the mountains for a little walk in the trees, up on a glacier, hopefully, and get some nice turns. Stop me at any point if I'm drifting off into too technical jargon. We're open books. We want to explain how things are going, so hopefully it's not just going skiing, but also learning a bit about the backcountry too.
That's been the biggest hurdle. If you're not creating that space, then you're not going to learn, you're not going to want to progress into the sport, you're not going to want to share that with anybody else. So with Indigenous Women Outdoors, I really thrive to create that safe, welcoming space so that people will come in knowing that they're welcome, knowing that they're in a safe spot, and in doing so, they'll want to share that with their friends.
A big barrier that I have seen and experienced is intergenerational knowledge. It's one that we don't really talk about a whole ton, but there's a huge gap in experience, and explaining what ski touring is to my mom and having her say, like, why would you go anywhere where you need a shovel? Like, that's ridiculous. And so explaining that is always really interesting. When I used to go out as like a woman of color, I would always feel like I had to be out there representing not only like women, but I was also representing Indian women and Indian folks, and not just being able to be myself.
I have a lot of imposter syndrome that I deal with sometimes. Often when I'm in rooms full of people advocating for my own organization, I'm often the only person of color, like often one of the few women. Definitely have moments where I think, I don't see myself represented here, so should I really be here? Like, do I really know what I'm doing?
There's a lot of hurdles and barriers to the programming that we do, and a lot of it involves, getting the support that we need. It's pretty exhausting to have to vet yourself every time you do something, and as Indigenous people, we're humans, and we have been through so much trauma, and we continuously are living through this trauma. So there's been those kind of barriers of, now we're in this space and we're offering these opportunities, but how do we make sure these spaces are still welcoming and comfortable for everyone?
Guide Sandy is putting in a very gentle skin track for us today. Very appreciative.
I was always told that I wasn't good enough, and to have a mentor tell me that, yeah, you are, and push me into that direction was so amazing for me. And I just want to help other women, and I want to be there for them to support them through that.
Climbing is cool, but climbing is really the vehicle for how it has given me an avenue to feeling like I can be a good mentor just with what I have.
The most impactful thing that I've heard from a mentee over the past couple of years has been, I see you doing these things and now I feel like I can do them.
And I think that happens in programs that are really special, like what we're doing and what Color the Trails does and Inclusivity, I think we all talk about this unspoken connection that you just don't even have to name. It's just there and it happens, and everyone feels comfortable and feels like they can push themselves too in a safe environment.
The last 3 days have been so inspiring for me. I have met most of the people that we've been out with, but only on a very small level.
To have time in the mountains together to speak about, what we're going through and just to get to connect with other leaders kind of doing, similar work. Just such a special opportunity that honestly we don't really get that often.
I think, access to the outdoors is a right. I think we should be promoting that, and we do that in our organization, obviously, but I think that should be more commonplace.
If you can find folks who relate to you without having to speak about it, I think is really powerful and really helpful.
It's really refreshing to be around folks who understand the mission that I'm on without me necessarily needing to explain it. And it's just nice to see a crew of badass women who are unapologetically all about their mission and their passion and about sharing that with the world without censorship.